I lied to the police to protect my sister, and they arrested me instead. It started with a phone call at 3 a.m., the kind that slams into your sleep like a brick through glass. My sister Maya's voice was raw, shaking, as she whispered my name into the receiver. The streetlights outside my apartment window bled orange through the blinds, casting long, jagged shadows across the floor. I could smell the stale coffee from the mug I'd left on my nightstand, cold now, bitter like the dread coiling in my stomach. They're going to blame me, she said. I need you to say you did it. I sat up, my pulse hammering in my throat. Maya had always been the reckless one, the one who laughed too loud, spent too much, pushed too far. But this was different. She'd gotten tangled up with a guy named Derek, smooth-talking and sharp-eyed, who'd convinced her to sign for a loan under my name. Just this once, she'd promised, but once turned into twice, then 3 times, until the bank called me, not her, demanding payment for a car I'd never owned. I met her at the diner on 5th Street the next morning, the one with the cracked vinyl booths and the scent of burnt sugar clinging to the air. Maya's hand shook around her coffee cup, her nails bitten down to the quick. She looked small suddenly, like the little sister who used to beg me to braid her hair. If I tell the truth, Mom and Dad will disown me, she said. But if you take the fall, just for a little while, I can fix it. The bell above the door jingled, and I flinched. Every sound felt like a threat. I should have said no. I should have walked out, called the police myself, let the chips fall. But Maya's eyes were wide, desperate, and I remembered the way she'd stood up for me in high school when the other kids whispered that I was the weird one, the quiet one, the one who read too much. So I nodded. Okay, I said. But you have to fix it. 2 days later, the detectives showed up at my door. They were polite at first, their ties straight, their notepads open. Just a few questions, Miss Carter, one said, his voice smooth as oil. I invited them in, my mouth dry, my palms slick against my jeans. The living room smelled like the lavender candle I'd lit that morning, the one Maya had given me for my birthday. Felt like a lifetime ago. They asked about the loan, the car, the signatures. I lied. I don't know anything about it, I said, forcing my voice steady. But my fingers trembled when I reached for my water glass, and the ice cubes clinked like handcuffs. The detective's eyes narrowed. That's funny, he said, because your sister says the same thing. My stomach dropped. Maya had folded. Of course she had. She always did when the pressure got too real. They arrested me that afternoon. The handcuffs were cold, the metal biting into my wrists as they led me out to the squad car. Neighbors peeked through their curtains, their faces blurry with curiosity and judgment. The station was a cacophony of ringing phones, murmured conversations, the stale, recycled air of a place where hope went to die. They fingerprinted me, took my mugshot, locked me in a cell that smelled of bleach and despair. I sat on the hard cot, staring at the scuffed concrete floor, and for the first time I let myself cry. Not for Maya, for me, for the stupid blind loyalty that had landed me here. That night, curled on the thin mattress with only my thoughts for company, I made a decision. No more lies, no more covering for her. The next morning I called a lawyer, a public defender with tired eyes and a stack of files taller than she was. Tell the truth, she said simply. So I did. I told them everything. The loans, the lies, Maya's betrayal. And this time Maya couldn't run. The evidence was there, in black and white, in bank statements and security footage. She confessed before the day was out. The charges against me were dropped. I walked out of that courthouse into the blinding afternoon sun, my legs unsteady, my throat raw from unshed tears. Maya was waiting by the steps, her face streaked with mascara, her hands clutching a crumpled tissue. I'm sorry, she whispered, but sorry wasn't enough. Not this time. I learned something that day, standing in the shadow of the courthouse, the weight of the past week pressing down on my shoulders like a storm cloud finally breaking. Loyalty isn't about lying for the people you love. It's about being honest with them, even when it hurts, because in the end, the truth is the only thing that can set you both free.